I buy name brand coffee because that's important to me, and I buy name brand toilet paper. I will go cheap on everything else in my life. Those 3 things I refuse to go cheap on.
I can't answer this question.
Why not?
I don't use toilet paper.
What? What do you mean? Oh, you have a bidet?
No.
I
use dude wipes.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Welcome to The Cauldron, a podcast hosted by Ed Bolden-Greer and Jacob A. Garner. In each episode, Ed and Jacob will have free-flowing conversations about life, culture, and personal growth. Expect to hear from storytellers, authors, experts, life gurus, thought leaders, and influencers. The Cauldron is a place where concoctions of a lot of ideas are brewed down to potions that are sometimes important and useful, sometimes eccentric and bizarre, but always just what you need. The Cauldron podcast may contain explicit language and thematic elements not suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
No thought too dumb.
No question too deep.
The conversation starts here. Welcome to The Cauldron.
Hey there, Jacob. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Ed. How are you?
I'm good. You don't look so good.
I'm a little tired.
You look like you ain't slept for 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. You know, age comes at you quick.
Yes, dear listeners, yes. That fateful day has arrived.
It's gone,
This past weekend, we were at CreepyCon, and that's going to be the topic of today's show, that and how decrepit Jacob became over the weekend.
In real time, I went from shuffling around to using a cane to having a walker. If I was there for one more day, I would have been in a wheelchair.
Well, I think we all felt like that by the end of it.
God, man.
My. CreepyCon was so good.
I want to go on record as saying that this was probably my favorite convention, not just CreepyCon, but like convention we've ever done.
What'd you do this past week, though, after CreepyCon?
Dude, I just recovered, honestly. I mean, you know, we just had to talk constantly, which was obviously what we were there to do. And I know the listeners would be like, oh, you had to talk. Oh, it must have been hard. But like, you know, actively engaging, not only just pitching Ravensvale, that was the main thing we were pitching, but also just having to make like a legitimate connection with people was nice. It wasn't just like, let me tell you about the podcast. All right, get out of here. People wanted to talk about like, hey, I really like that it's about witches, cryptids. Cool. What was your favorite cryptid episode that you did?
Yep.
You know, I mean, it was fun. It was fun, but it's exhausting.
It is exhausting. Last Sunday, when it was all over, thank you, by the way, for helping us get those packages into the truck to move to West Hills.
I was dead on my feet.
Yeah, they weren't light. I'm glad that you had not gone all the way to old Asian guy yet by that point. But I walked into the school where those packages were, and I was doing the thing that I had to do while I was there.
Yeah.
And peeing.
Yeah.
And I walked in, and I had not been there in like 4 days.
Wow.
And it felt foreign to me.
Yeah. I bet, honestly. You know, like, am I allowed in here? Oh, wait, I own the business.
Place, yeah.
Let me tell you how tired I was, Ed, at the end of CreepyCon. So this is a random fun fact about me. I was never shown how to shave. By the time I needed to start learning,
you can tell.
Oh yeah, for the listeners, I have a massive mustache.
Caterpillar.
Yeah, I mean it is huge. The boys love it, but
he's got a caterpillar on his upper lip.
Yeah, it is,
which does not help.
No, it does not beat the Central American allegations that I constantly have to fight.
Does not.
But,
and by the way,
yeah,
just for the listeners, we have a heavy presence of ice.
Yeah,
in the Knoxville area this week.
If Ed's like, hey, it's just going to be me for a little bit, he can call in to the prison phone in Alligator Alcatraz, and the audio quality is going to dip. Our sound designer Nick will try his hardest to clear up the audio.
We're not going to let you know that he's down there. I'm pretty sure he would be taking full advantage of slacking on his duties.
I need a vacation. Pick me up. No, I'm joking. But what I was saying is, fun fact about me, when I was learning how to shave, nobody ever taught me how. Like, my father had passed away before I'd really needed to learn how to shave. And
really up until this weekend, you didn't really need to shave.
Yeah, I know, right? So I learned how to shave, and I'm now 30 years old. I have never used shaving cream. I don't use a shaving cream. I don't use a shaving gel. I literally just use water and shave my face. That is what I have used for years.
Well, let me go on record. That's okay when you had the beard and the goatee.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that much side hair.
No, I don't.
But
I can't grow a full beard.
Yeah. But now that you have managed to expose a lot of your face.
Yeah.
And you have matured greatly this weekend.
Yes.
This past weekend. It's obvious you're going to have to start using a lubricant.
Yeah.
And that can be a cream, a gel. You could use powder with your skin.
Powder?
Yeah, there's talc stuff you can use.
The fuck?
It's like it goes on like a gel, but it dries like a powder. And I don't recommend it. A lot of people use it, especially if you're using a straight razor.
I've always wanted to learn how to use a straight razor, but I don't want to go through the learning process. You know what I mean?
I do.
Have you ever had a full shave?
I
in
have
the
gone
last 10
to
years?
a master barber and done all that stuff. Yeah.
Damn.
I'm going to say this. They're so talented and they're so respected in my mind, but I have such a weird thing about somebody else shaving me. You know?
Yeah.
We were having a conversation the other day. We were talking about you getting old.
It's a common theme between me and Ed.
And well, you were actually talking with Mytho, I believe.
Yeah.
About you getting old and that you just wanted them to put you in a home if they ever had to wipe your butt.
Yeah. If that ever happens.
Wipe my butt, but if I have to be shaved, just go ahead and take me off the ventilator.
Have you ever used a straight razor?
I have.
I mean, how did that go?
I threw it away.
It took a few tries. You're like, fuck this thing.
I had no reason to continue to do it. I will be honest. I didn't really throw it away immediately. It got thrown away in a move. It was a gift.
Oh, see that.
And so I used it once. I never went back. It was a very thoughtful gift.
Yeah.
The Renaissance man I am. I'm sure that they thought, wow, this is just going to be great for it. And then, I'm cold natured.
Yeah.
Right. I also bleed very easily.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, when I'm shaving. So, I didn't want to have a bloody face every day.
Well, see, that's another thing that's really funny about me, too. I have never bought one of those, 20-blade titanium spacecraft, quality steel razors.
Oh, the ones the aliens brought.
Yeah. I don't use any of those. I only have bought the cheap orange and white Bic. You get it's $1.99 for a pack of 20. That's all I've used my entire life. They work.
I'm staring at Jacob as though he's a monster.
They work. I use that.
Continue to use what works for you. I think, though, you're going to find that if with this new growth that you have uncovered down here, or you've...
It was so foreign feeling like wind hit my chin. I was like, what the fuck is that? It's a new world, Ed. New decade, new me.
Dirty 30.
All right, I got some questions. You want to play a quick game?
Yeah, let's play.
All right, dumb questions to ask your dumb friends. This is actually a numbers question for you, Ed. How many pairs of shoes did you buy last year?
Oh, God. For myself or just in total?
It just says how many pairs, but I guess so.
You give me the perimeter.
Okay, how many did you buy for yourself? I'm going to guess 3.
No. I did away with some shoes last year and replaced them.
Okay.
In 2024. 5 pair.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. So in all honesty, I keep an old pair of tennis shoes and a new pair of tennis shoes, right? Just because at work.
Yeah.
And so I had just got a new pair of tennis shoes, and through some mistakes that were happening and everything, I wound up having to wear those new shoes in water.
Ew. Gross.
So they didn't make it into the wardrobe very long, and they got thrown away. So I have an old pair of shoes, which is really old, and a new pair of shoes. The new pair of shoes I have to count it twice last year because I had to replace them immediately. Okay, and then I moved all of my dress shoes to this new shoe that I found. Because I don't like dress shoes. I don't like hard bottom shoes at all. And so these are actual tennis shoes that look like dress shoes.
Huh.
And so when I have them on, you can't tell, but all the shoes I wear are tennis shoes.
Oh, dude, speaking of shoes, check it out. You know how I've been having to wear other shoes?
Let's check the fit out. Come on.
Okay, yeah.
So Jacob today, are those new or old?
No, these shorts.
No, the shoes.
These are brand new.
Oh, they are.
got
There's
these,
no rips or tears or anything.
Look at the sole.
So
on
your
those
ants
things.
are in from.
That's literally what happened. Yeah.
His aunts bring him shoes. And the Corona Extra shirt.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I'm wearing a Corona tank top.
Yeah.
Don't look at me, ice, please.
What's your hat say?
It's a Maryville Jiu-Jitsu hat.
Yeah.
My old gym. Well, same gym.
Same
we just
gym,
changed
different
the
name.
Yeah.
Okay, so I also have a numbers for some reason today.
Okay.
Great minds, I guess. How many squares of toilet paper do you typically use when you poop?
This is actually a very topical question because I just blew up the bathroom here in the podcast office. The first thing to really hit my stomach today was a large cup of black coffee and a son of Baconator with fries with ghost pepper sauce.
Yeah, we decided we were going to crap lunch today.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to say 50-11. I use 50-11. Dude, I load it down. Honestly, too, there are 3 things in my life, Ed, that I buy name brand and I don't skimp on. I'll be a cheap bastard everywhere else. It goes my dairy or non-dairy, whatever it is, right? I buy name brand oat milk and stuff like that. I buy name brand coffee because that's important to me. And I buy name brand toilet paper. I will go cheap on everything else in my life. Those 3 things I refuse to go cheap on.
I can't answer this question.
Why not?
I don't use toilet paper.
What? What do you mean? Oh, you have a bidet?
No.
What do you
I
mean?
use dude wipes.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Dude wipes are pretty lit.
Yeah.
All right. This one's a fun one. This one's about animals. What animal do you think would have a French accent?
Weasels. Yeah, oui.
We love our French listeners.
That we don't have, when we were looking at the stats, we don't have anybody from France listening to the podcast.
Really? We have some in China, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the Philippines, China,
Nice.
Japan. We have some all over the UK.
Just not France.
Just not France.
Yeah, I guess you guys are weasels.
Yeah, weasels. We'll change our mind about that when you start listening to the podcast. Okay, mine's about food.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Let's hear it.
I think I already know this about you, but what food did you hate but have since grown to enjoy?
I would say when I was younger, and this might trigger you, Ed, sorry. When I was younger, I used to hate raw tomato. I know. I used to hate it. And now it's one of my favorite. I could eat a tomato like an apple if I wanted to. But, your taste buds change over time. Also, Ollie told me, I think it was Ollie, told me that apparently Brussels sprouts like 20 years ago used to just taste like ass. They were terrible. And then they, I guess Big Agra like slowly started changing the taste of them, like when they were growing them. So the Brussels sprouts of today versus the Brussels sprouts from 2 decades ago are different genetically now. That's not true?
Well, I mean, there might be some scientific evidence to that, but I ate Brussels sprouts as a kid, and I eat Brussels sprouts today. How they cook them today is different.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like like ginger braised Brussels sprouts, one of my very favorite things in the world. We didn't have those back then.
Really?
Yeah.
But they just boiled?
They were fried, boiled, like pan seared.
Yeah.
Or put in an oven and cooked. But I wouldn't say, and Ollie's probably read something I haven't, but I wouldn't say that the taste was any different. The way we cook them today is different. I will say the size of them are different.
Bigger or smaller?
Bigger. Back in the day, they were just about the size
like an acorn,
an acorn or a grape, a small grape.
Huh?
And now
they're like the fucking like that big.
They're like nuts.
All right, let's get into
I guess
CreepyCon.
it depends on how big your nuts are. Yeah. So I want to do this chronologically a little bit.
Okay.
So let's talk about like Thursday.
Yeah, the setup.
Yeah, and then go through Sunday.
Okay.
Talk about our experience and things. But yeah. So on Thursday, we met at Studio G in West Hills to travel down to the Knoxville Convention Center, loaded to the brim with all of the stuff that we needed to take in order to have a successful weekend.
And I think the one of the reasons why I really like CreepyCon too is that it is not very far from where either you or I live.
No.
So we always get to go home to our own beds, which is dope. And I was really looking forward to it, though the weather was a little warm that day. Jared dropped us off so it was at the Knoxville Convention Center, obviously, right there at World's Fair Park, which I love. And, man, I got to say, we're like a NASCAR pit crew getting that stuff moved and
We've
then,
had some
like,
experience,
getting it set up. And, I mean, obviously, the venue was fantastic. I liked that they had less vendors this year. It felt like, for lack of a better term, it just felt like the convention space could breathe easier.
And just as a side note on that, they didn't invite 50 of the vendors back.
Yeah.
They were not quality vendors. It seemed to me that all of the vendors that were there this year were exceptional.
Yeah. People that historically, because we've done this a few times now, historically they were always in the best moods. They were always the friendliest. They had good quality stuff, which was awesome.
Yep.
Hence why we got invited back.
So we get there. We get everything set up in less than an hour.
Yeah.
It was real. Of course, our setup is fairly easy compared to some of the others. Our methods for doing these cons, we have stickers, bracelet, horror, and podcast theme. Two different things: horror and podcast theme. Stickers, bracelets,
Pins,
pride stuff, pins, enamel pins, buttons,
bookmarks,
posters of horror stuff. We had some D&D stuff as well.
Yeah,
went a little ways out into some fantasy stuff this time, all laid out, just covering 2 8-foot tables.
Yeah.
And it's all free. We give it away. Well, there is a price.
There is a price.
Yeah. The price, you have to listen to our pitch about the podcasts.
Which it works out perfectly because while people were scanning the table, I mean, again, if you weren't at CreepyCon, these tables, they look like they look like pages from, remember those books in grade school? They were called the I Spy books.
Yeah.
And you would have to try to, it's like just a cacophony of stuff. And while people were searching for like their favorite horror movie monster, like, oh, I'm looking for a ghost face. Oh, I'm looking for a jigsaw, something like that. You could just be like, hey, do you listen to podcasts at all? And we just, the free stuff was the bait on the hook.
And then the catalyst, yeah.
It was really, really fun, too, because people, I think podcasting, obviously, hence you guys are listening to this right now, but podcasting is so popular right now. Everybody has a smart device. Everybody has a subscription to some sort of audio streaming platform. And people are looking for new podcasts to listen to.
Yep. So we finished up in about an hour and a half and hit the road out of there.
Yeah.
Got to go back to our own beds that night.
Right, just prepare.
Just relax, yeah. We being local to this event, this con, we were really blessed.
Yeah.
We didn't have to be there the next day until 4:30. So it opened at 5, went until 9. And we get that we had a whole free day, which is very unusual for us.
Was very
Nice. We get there, and in the blink of an eye, it's over.
Yeah.
Like the day is gone. And I will say that first day, super packed.
Way busier than we've typically expected for the first day of most 3-day cons. I think we were all pleasantly surprised. I mean, it was very steady. We would get lulls.
Yeah, I mean, you're always going to have lulls. Well, and just for the listeners to know, we study and analyze traffic flow and the markets at these events, and it was a change from the past 4 years to see a busy Friday.
Yes.
Busy as in it took 6 people to manage the booth.
Yeah, fully engaged with group, 1 or 2 people at a time, engaging them. I mean, and then it felt like we were just constantly refreshing the table too.
Yeah. And so come to the end of the night and everybody was surprised it was done. Like, I mean, literally, I had not looked up or looked at the time, and then all of a sudden it was time to shut everything down. So we hurriedly refreshed all the tables, put the table covers on, and got out of there. Let's go back to the first day. We're waiting on Jared to get the truck to pull around, and it had been a nice, warm, a little hot, but warm day when we went into the convention center to set up. When we came out, it had rained. It had rained enough to make it miserable.
Yeah, and then the sun was fighting to come back out. You could actually see the water evaporating out on the pavement. Yeah. Mine and Ed's hair just exploded.
Yeah, my Greek fro went from my spiral curls to everything is a frizz. So we get through day 1. We go home. It was a very successful day.
Yes.
Very successful day. And day 2?
Day 2, I got it started with Miss Starla. We got there a little bit after 10 o'clock. And it was interesting because, again, going off of like conventions in the past and CreepyCon, me and Starla were like, yeah, we're probably not going to start to get busy till about, 12:30, 1 o'clock, something like that. But we got to the booth. Everybody was in a good mood that we were engaging with, like the other vendors and everything. And then the doors open up. Next thing you know, we had about 10 people already at the table talking to us all, and it was all brand new people that we were expecting to see a lot of repeats early on in the day, like people that were there yesterday, VIPs and stuff. No. It was all brand new people, and then Starla forgot that she left a volunteer badge in her car, and Ollie was going to be showing up with Mytho, and they were going to help volunteer. So I said, well, it's going to be the morning. You'll be fine by yourself. I'm going to run out and go grab that real quick. And as I was running out to the parking garage off Locust Street, there was already a line of like 100 people waiting for the convention to start.
Yeah. We were fortunate that day. We got to come in at 12:30 to start our day, and when we came in, the lines were out the first level there, up the escalators, and out the door.
Wow.
So they were through the security checks and everything. Just crowds upon crowds. I think they're going to have record numbers when it's all said and done.
I think so too.
But really on that day was the first day that I had gotten to like really dig into the vendors and the shows that were going on and stuff like that. This year they had so many classes.
Really? Workshops and stuff?
Yeah, workshops. They had bone divination. They had all kinds of classes. They had some things for kids to do. That whole kids section. Interestingly, I didn't go over and do it, although I love doing it. They had an axe throwing cage.
I saw that, yeah.
And I kept meaning to do it and didn't. We watched.
We were just too damn busy, dude.
I know. Jared and I, because we're always analyzing and looking at everything. We take a lot of time to walk around and look at shows and things like that. We own a show, so we want to make sure that, we're not giving the people the same thing as everybody else, we watched a couple of shows. Dr. Finnegan's show was good. It's the only one I got to see most of. The costume contest was phenomenal. We got to see, if the listeners will remember, there's a kids costume contest.
Yeah. And
we were just infatuated with the winner from last year and her parents. So they came to our booth, and we were happy that they showed up, and we were talking to them and everything. And then she competed the next day too. So
nice.
Yeah, it was a good time. There were lots and lots of vendors there.
Yeah, very varied. I would say.
And we're going to talk about some of the things that we were interested in, specifically. One that we're all very interested in right now, in our little friend circle, we have seen a re-emergence of Magic the Gathering.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we have a little party coming up this Friday. And there was a guy there, a local, who had some really good cards.
Yeah. Do you mind if I talk about him for a little bit?
Right.
I definitely want to shout him out. His name is D-Man Repair. So he actually is based out of the Oak Ridge area. His main job is IT work. Like, he repairs electronics, computers, and anime figures and figurines. And when I was walking around just kind of checking everybody out, I was immediately attracted to the fact that he had these binders set out with Magic the Gathering and Pokemon cards. And I've worked a lot of conventions with you, Ed. That's got to be the first time I've ever seen somebody do it. And when I talked to him, and I can't believe I forgot his name, but anyway,
I thought it was Matt.
Yeah, I can't remember. But when I was talking to him, I said, wow, this is the first time I've ever seen somebody with trading cards at a convention like this. And he said, well, I usually go to a lot of collectible conventions, but then it dawned on me, people who are nerds for horror movies are probably just nerds through and through. So I'm banking on the fact that there's going to be a lot of nerds here, and they're going to buy these cards. And wouldn't you know it, I went to his booth every day of the convention. He was making money hand over fist.
He made all of his booth money off of you,
probably
me and Jared.
Yes, because I kept going back because he had a fantastic selection. I love supporting small businesses. I think everybody knows that, but
absolutely. Some of the people that I really want to shout out. Phoenix Gaming was there.
Yes.
Okay. Had their entire collection set up. One of our vendors that we were very happy to see, Bones and Beyond, was there with their posters and everything. They will be at Horror Fest. The Southern Ghost Stories was there.
Yeah.
And you remember them.
Yeah.
And then right down from us, there was Got Caricature.
Oh, Got Caricature.
Yeah. And their they're not really masks. I guess they're more sculptures of all the horror figures were absolutely incredible.
I just think that it was really, really awesome. I was talking to Ed, and I was also telling the boys, I said the fun thing about like CreepyCon and other conventions that we do, but CreepyCon especially, is that it kind of feels like a family reunion where you run into vendors that, you make good friends with, and you guys all bond over the shared experience about working these cons. And I just got to see a lot of really cool, friendly vendors again, like Paul Bearer Press. They were next to us at FrankenCon, and then by pure chance, right next to us at CreepyCon, which was dope.
Yeah, something that was remarkable to me this year. We've always had people at these cons that come up to us and they say, "Oh, I love your podcast, listening to it." Blah, blah, blah. This year we had people coming up, and it's very flattering and humbling, who wanted to do things like get our autographs and have pictures taken with us and discuss characters with us, the characters in the Ravensville podcast, which was, as the content creator, the writer, very fulfilling for me.
Yeah.
And I will say, I've told the story about the first time I ever had a fan related to the podcast. I didn't know how to act, and I think that showed this weekend because I was getting so many compliments and so many accolades about the podcast, and I'm not good at taking that kind of compliment.
Especially in that environment where we've just spent hours pitching it to people, and then you have people coming up going, oh, no, yeah.
You're the best.
I've already listened to all the episodes, and we're like, wait, what? So, like,
Jacob hasn't even heard all the episodes.
I know. Saturday was interesting, mainly because that was the longest day.
It was.
So it ran from 11 till 8.
Till 8 o'clock, 9 hours, yeah.
And the interesting thing, too, about CreepyCon this weekend, again, the traffic was crazy, like the foot traffic. And in some cons, like, once the last hour or two, like, starts rolling around, things start petering off. It felt like it stayed pretty consistent.
Right up until, we were refreshing the tables for Sunday at like, I think 7:30 is when we started refreshing them, and we didn't stop refreshing them until we put the covers on at 10 till.
Yeah.
When we had to finally say, oh.
And we were, that was a long day. I was exhausted.
Yeah.
It was my birthday, and then Ollie and Mitha were like, hey, do you want to go get some dinner? You guys had offered, hey, where are we going for dinner? I was so tired. I was like, I just want to go home, go to sleep. Me and Ollie made it through half of an episode of The X-Files before we both fell asleep.
Our friends from Nevermore Dark were there. Shout out to them.
I always love
Their
them.
candles are so good. They're going to be at a Horror Fest as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when I look back on Saturday, the thing that really impressed me the most is the fact that your birthday surprises didn't go to your head.
Yeah, I stayed reserved because I knew I wasn't going to get that level of a birthday surprise again if I let it get too to my head.
So, listeners, here's there's been an ongoing joke. Jacob came into our lives saying he was King Jacob.
I can tell you the exact memory, the moment that it happened. So I was a student enrolled at Arbor College years ago, and you guys were making name tags. And then Jared said, you guys can write down whatever you want to go by. Now, he meant that from like a really progressive...
If you want to do Jake or...
Yeah, Jacob, Jake, if I had a preferred name that maybe wasn't my government name that I could use, that's how he intended that to be interpreted. I heard that as anything you want to go by, right? So I wrote down King Jacob and submitted that. And then he was like, is that like a nickname or something? And I was like, no, I just think it would sound nice.
And
you guys denied it.
Denied.
And ever since then...
Actually, I think what you said was, that's how I identify.
Yeah, that's how I identify as a king. And ever since then, for years, every once in a while, as long as it's obviously not something that's super, super important, I will write down my name is King Jacob. I even tried changing it in our scheduling system a few times before you guys would change it back. So Ed and Jared surprised me on Saturday.
Well, we got to tell the rest of that story first.
Okay.
So I finally put my foot down. I was like, there can only be one king.
Yeah.
And it ain't you, Jacob.
It's fair.
And I said, you're going to start out as the jester.
Yeah.
And then you're going to win princess points.
Mm-hmm.
So he's made his way up to Prince Jacob.
I have clawed and fought my way to at least get there. I ain't going back.
Okay, go ahead with the rest of the story because that was important.
So Saturday around what, like 12:30?
Mm-hmm.
You and
Jared
Jared
got there.
Yeah, you and Jared showed up, and you guys surprised me with some awesome gifts, like a bolo tie that I'm really excited. It's a bolo tie with a boar on it because I wear this big gaudy belt buckle with a giant boar on it all the time.
It has family significance.
Yeah, it's a family reference to my mother's maiden name and my middle name. And then you guys got me these hilarious T-shirts, which I find just funny. There was one where it had a not so subtle messaging that just said old ass man on it, which I thought was pretty funny from Ed.
It does say old ass man, but in the background, it had another message.
Yeah. It was like bold, badass, dangerous, or something. I forget. But the coup de grace was they gave me a large sash that said "Birthday King" written in gold on it, and Ed bestowed upon my cranium a metal circlet, a king's crown with some rhinestones and some black jewels on it. And he said, only for today. I was literally king for a day.
Yeah.
And as a side effect, too, which I find really funny, and I'm sure you guys have planned about this, you know, like the listeners have heard me say a million times, I don't celebrate my birthday. I got more birthday wishes in that one day on Saturday than I think in my entire life combined. It was hilarious.
It was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Now I'm going to keep you humble.
Oh.
Jacob's family, without him, celebrated the twins' birthday for Zach.
Yep. They did. They did that on a Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah, while I was at CreepyCon, which was funny. I also sent them a small clip that we took of the girl playing Agriseco, or the ring ghost crawling out of the TV. I sent them that video, and they're like, "Why? What are you doing?" They still don't really understand what I do.
It's because you hide the podcast from them.
I've shared it multiple times. They're still, they're like, "What? Where are you? Who is that? That's scary." I was like, "All right, yeah."
So we made it through Saturday.
Yeah, we made it through
very
Saturday.
Successfully. Went to Polancho's naturally.
Yes.
Had a great meal.
Yeah.
And then woke up the next morning, and it's the last day already.
Mm-hmm.
And Sunday we kind of carpooled in. Some of us. We get there, great energy. Sometimes the last day of the last day of a con is low energy. All the vendors are ready to go home. Great energy.
Mm-hmm.
The flow of traffic seemed like Fridays and Sundays switched.
Yes.
You know, this was a steady flow, although it wasn't full.
Mm-hmm. A lot of repeat people were coming back on Sunday.
Yeah, the people who had VIP tickets, the people who had bought 3-day tickets were there. We got to see our friend and listener Mark.
Oh yeah,
all 3
Mark.
days. We love when we get to see Mark.
He surprised you with a gift too.
He did. He had one of the spooky doll makers make a Sam doll for me out of a Yoda. So it was a Sam Yoda doll. It's already in the curio cabinet in a very special place.
Nice. Shout out Mark.
Shout out to Mark. We love you, man. And then it was over.
Yeah. Just like that.
Just like that. It was over. And it took us about 20 minutes to pack up.
Yeah. We probably could have done it sooner, but we didn't want to make it look like we were having a fire drill or anything, you know.
So it took about 20 minutes for us to pack everything up. And Jared went off to get the vehicle, and we walked everything upstairs as a group, and we got into our cars, and we drove straight to Sunspot, which is on the Strip in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah, right off the main kind of like campus. Well, it's still on campus, but right off the main drag of the University of Tennessee.
Yep.
And it's just this fantastic restaurant. They serve just really good drinks.
Good drinks, really good food. Jacob and I are kind of addicted to their hummus plate.
I just want to let me give them their flowers where it's due. It's better than a typical hummus plate if you've gotten one before, because they pickle all of their vegetables.
Yeah, well, except for the peppers. But like pickled cauliflower, cucumbers, which I guess is just a pickle, and then carrots. Oh my God. And they do their own pickling there, which is really phenomenal, because I've bought pre-pickled carrots. I can't stand them.
Really?
Yeah. But the hummus is really good. The drinks are really good. My food was really good. I got a staple, the rattlesnake pasta. I was very disappointed, though.
Why?
Well, they normally have this sausage pasta that's just to die for, and I think half the people at the table were looking forward to that.
Yeah.
and they've taken it off the menu.
Nothing gold can stay.
That's true. Little depressing.
Well, I thought
I'd
that
look
dinner
forward to it.
that dinner was an excellent cap to an excellent weekend.
Absolutely. And so I'm gonna ask one question
Okay.
of you. What was your favorite part of the weekend?
My favorite part?
I mean, outside of you getting to spend almost 16 hours a day with me.
Yes. Honestly, on a similar note, I think that it was just a lot of fun that both my partners volunteered. They didn't have to. It's a lot of work.
It is.
And I really, really appreciated the fact that they said, hey, I'm willing to help you out. I know how important this is to you. I know how important it is to Ed. I will volunteer my time. Obviously, you guys fed them and everything like that, which I very much appreciate. But I think it was just really, really fun to let them see how the sausage is made, and get them involved in this experience, because there's been times where we've traveled out of town for cons and they're like, what exactly do you do? Now it was like taking your partner to work day, essentially. And I love that. And seeing Mytho, he was dressed up, which was really fun, in a little bit of a satyr demon cosplay. And him being out in public and just socializing with people, it really just made me feel, it made it feel less like work because you're there with your partners. It was awesome. What about you?
Well, kind of similar. I'm always having a great time when I'm at a con.
Yeah.
Being an extrovert, they just, they feed me. And so I went into this very high on the energy, but I think what really was the best thing in the world for me, okay, is that this thing that I created, this story, and was, as you know, very fearful to put out for public consumption.
Yeah, it took you a while just to even release episode 0.
Yeah. But what this thing that I've created, to see people that I don't know conversing about it, and seeing our staff, how inundated into that they are, and how they fed on the energy that the people that were coming up were giving us.
Yeah.
We're always, kind of in that giving at a con, giving our energy away. But I was getting it all back, like it was being mirrored back to me. And that this isn't the first con that's happened at, but it's certainly the con that it was the most.
Yes. People coming up and being like, oh my God, you voiced so-and-so.
Yeah.
Can I get your picture?
Yeah. And being able to, those super fans who know all the plot lines and everything, asking me questions about it and talking about Ravensvale, it just really touched my heart. That had to be my favorite part.
And we got to give the listeners of super fans like swag and everything like that. Also, big shout out to our wand maker.
Yep.
Because that was a huge draw to our booth.
Yep. We have 3 wands. We have if you're following the storyline, then we have 3 magical ascensions. The first being the Sun Ascension, and we have a Sun Ascension wand. The Moon Ascension, and we have a Moon Ascension wand, and then Earth Ascension, and we have Earth Ascension wand. And every day of the con, we gave one of those wands away, which is a $50 giveaway.
Yeah.
And people were just rallying to sign up for them.
Oh, yeah. We had people that were there all weekend that were like, damn it, can I sign up again? And we're like, yeah, give it a shot.
I guess the last shout out that I will give, on top of the hill from the school, there is a comic book store.
Yes.
That we got to interact with at this con. Nirvana Comics. Shout out to you guys. Really glad to meet you guys, and we hope to see you at future cons.
Mm-hmm. Also, just as a side note about Nirvana that I really respect, I think it was like last year or 2 years ago, with all these dumbass book bans that were going on, they banned the comic or the graphic novel Mouse, which is It's mainly geared towards teenagers, but it tells the actuality of the Holocaust and what that looked like, and it was banned. And then Nirvana Comics said, "Hey, anybody that's in the Knox County school system, if you want a copy of this book, we'll give it to you for free."
Yeah.
So big shout out to them.
Big shout out to them. Well, any last words?
We love you, CreepyCon. Can't wait to see you again next year. Bigger and better, as always.
We'll shout out to FrankenCon. We got to hang out and talk to the creator of FrankenCon while we were there. So shout out to FrankenCon.
Shout out to you. Also love FrankenCon. And Ed, let's get ready. It's right around the corner, baby.
Right around the corner. 67 days until Appalachian Horror Fest 2025. If you haven't already, you can get your tickets by going to AppalachianHorrorFest.com and clicking on tickets.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go fast. I'll tell you that. We have lots and lots of entertainers, musical entertainers and storytellers and vendors that are going to be there. In fact, this week is the launch of us putting out all of that on social media. You can find those lists on our Facebook page, both for Ravensville and at Appalachian Horror Fest and on Small Raven Media. Simultaneous.
Let's do it, Ed.
Okay. All right, guys. Until next time, see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Now, family, you adults have a few chores to do. Go on over to ravensville.com and see about doing your chores on social media. Follow us on all the social media platforms that we've made available just for you folks. Like, listen, subscribe, and follow wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you don't mind, leave us a good rating and a kind comment. You can find The Cauldron on your favorite podcast platform. And again, make sure you hit that follow button to stay up to date with our latest episodes.
The Cauldron is a production of Small Raven Media. Today's episode was hosted by Ed Bolden-Greer and Jacob A. Garner. Audio engineering and sound design by Nick Devan at Nicky D Sound. Copyrighted 2025, Small Raven Media. All rights reserved.